And what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, the Michael Jordan the Game, and also the Rebel YouTube Underground. And I'm back with another video. Finally, man. I know I took a long time, man, but the job has been killing me. I'm full time now, man. Full time all the time. So, at my job, you normally don't leave when you need to. You know, it's 5 o'clock when I'm supposed to leave. I might not get out till 8 o'clock like yesterday, because it happens. It just happens. But anyway, man, the video today is about the gaming industry. I think the gaming industry is pretty much probably going to die soon. And I have my reasons. I know you're wondering, like, why Tick? What's going on? I have my reasons, man. I feel like it's either going to die or it's going to be another crash like it was in the 80s during the Atari era, you know, especially after E.T. dropped. But I just see this coming, and I have some reasons. I might do more than one part of this. This might turn into a series, but I have my reasons. So the first reason I'm going to talk about is game prices. Game prices are too low. If you want to go back to, you know, how the game prices were, I have a picture that I'm going to put in the description below. I might throw it in the video too. But there's a picture below of Nintendo Super NES games back in the 90s. It's from an ad, and it shows the prices of the games. You'll see they range from either $45 to $95. There was no certain price point back in the day. Certain developers could throw whatever price they wanted to on their game. Like Super Mario games. Mario games used to just be expensive. That was because it was Nintendo. They were expensive. And it goes back to Sega Genesis games. They were expensive too. Now, fortunately, I didn't have to pay that money. This was my parents paying that, and I have to thank them to death because that was the 90s, man. The 90s, we didn't get paid as much as we get paid now. Minimum wage back then was like probably $2 in certain states, man. And $90, you want the equivalent to $90 back then, it's probably like $140 today. Like, that's how much our parents were paying for our games, yo. Like, that was a lot of money they were giving away. So, wow. Now, the reason why a lot of these games were expensive, one was because cartridges were more expensive to make. I do know that. CDs aren't as expensive. But if you go through the years, the game prices have gone up with the different generations of systems. So when we had the PlayStation 1, the prices were $40. Sega Saturn, $40. Except for Nintendo 64, it was cartridge, so $70. If you go to the PS2, they were $50. Xbox, the original Xbox, $50. The GameCube, $50. When you go to the PS3, Xbox 360, it moved up to $60. So I thought the same thing was going to, you know, go down with the PS3 and Xbox One. I mean, PS4 and Xbox One. But no, they still stayed at $60. The problem with this is these developers aren't making money off of these $60 games. So the reason I thought about this was because everybody's been getting on Evolve about that $100+ DLC that dropped with the game. And I watched a few videos on it. And there was one guy who uploaded a video, and he talked about a person that hit the forums up who took up for Evolve. Come to find out, it was actually a developer, but he wrote a long page explaining why this makes sense for them to put DLC in there. And one of the things he mentioned was the technology today that is put in games, the graphical technology, the engines that are used in the games, cost millions and millions of dollars to make and use. And he's not lying. They cost a lot to make these games compared to how it was back in the day. So when they're dropping these games, they're not making money off of $60. They have to make money off the DLC. Now, you know me of all people, I don't condone paying for DLC. I hate that. If you give me an expansion pack, it's cool. But you guys have kind of taught them last generation that you're going to pay money for DLC regardless because, you know, you guys want to pay for that stuff. So they see that this is a way to get some more, you know, money out of you, so they're going to start doing it. So that's why they dropped that 100-something DLC to make up for the money that they're losing making these games and selling them for $60. For a good example, there was a game called Murdered Soul Suspect. Came out for the PS3, Xbox 360, and Xbox One and PS4, I believe. As soon as they released the game, the company went out of business. They didn't because they couldn't make any money off of it. $60 wasn't enough, and they didn't put any DLCs or anything in their game. So that's how much money they're not making off of these $60 titles. I don't know why they didn't go up. Now, me, I don't have a problem with them going up to $70 or $80 for a game. I would support this because I love the gaming industry. I love gaming. I don't have a problem with this. I know y'all looking at me like, man, Tick, $60 is enough. Hey, man, $90 was being sold for games back in the day, man. It was a lot harder time back then. You didn't have that much money back then. So I'm for it, man. I want to go back to the golden years. I want a developer to make me a game that's complete. No paid DLCs. Back to unlocking stuff, using passwords, or beating a game, showing people that I beat a game, I did something special in the game that they couldn't do because I earned a certain item. Like things like that, man, for just 80 bucks. And getting a full game, nothing that's cut corners because they didn't have the money to pay for the game to do it. You know, look at the Order 1886. People are complaining about that game being short. You see how much graphical power that game has for a console game? Really? Do you think that game would have ran that long on those consoles with that much information? Like, they use so much information on that game, bro, that those consoles can't handle that. But anyway, man, I'm for it. And for all the people that can't afford to buy games, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back to how it was back in the day when I was younger. You know, I got games on my birthday and Christmas. Occasionally on random days sometimes because my parents love me, but most of the times, my birthday or Christmas. But anyway, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about this. Would you prefer the games to go back to go up to $70 or $80 so the gaming industry could survive? Or you just selfish and just want to pay $60 and then you're going to wonder why, you know, the gaming era is dead. But I'm gone. Bye!